We are back for the new year.
Let's piss some people off.
We got a great situation to start off the new year with. So I'm sure we will piss some people off. Dom, how was Christmas? How was New Year? I haven't talked to you since.
Still celebrating. I'll be back in town next week, but I'm good now. And yeah, man. So I think it's like 62 out here in California. Yeah.
It was cool all week in Florida, and then it got hot again in the 80s today. But even on my cruise down even in Nassau in the Bahamas, it was in the 60s, 70s. I had a good time.
Did you guys get jungle fever on that cruise?
No, we had a good time. It's like whenever I go, it's like I fall in love with the casino staff. We become friends with each and every one of them, and I leave, and I feel like a kid that goes to Disney, and then like you got to go back to reality. Like I love those people. They work so hard. They respect you. They understand what it's like to live like shit and actually like earn their money and work hard and be nice to people. So I'm addicted. I'm addicted to cruises and the cruise staff and all that stuff. But
yeah, I can't do it. It's too big water for me. Too much water.
I get it. You don't like anything like that, right?
No, I'll do a lake, but it's got to be like 4 feet deep. And that's it. I'll be on it. I'm a heights and water. No thanks, not me.
Yeah, I got you. Let me pay the bills real quick. Media Assets. Our newest sponsor is Goon Tape. Goon Tape is soft tape for rough work. It's an athletic, kind of like hockey tape, but better. You can put it on your gun grip. You can put it on your rifle grip. You can put it on your old lady. You can put it on just about anything you want. And Dom, you'll be interested in this. It is when it gets wet, it gets grippy. And I know that is actually part of the slogan for Goon Tape. Go to www.goontape.com. Use code counterculture for 15% off. I always love saying that. It's kind of like saying moist when it gets
I'll
wet.
be using that because I used to use you ever see when they use like stairs and like schools, they have the black grip tape?
Mm-hmm.
I used to use that stuff on there, so I'm very. I'll
this
check
is it.
that out.
It's good. Hey, Jim, your bar in the gym, wrapping up your weights. Jimmy wrapped up the handle of his gun. It's good for if you have a rifle. Kind of an all-purpose tape, but their technology is when it gets wet, it stays gripped for like outdoor shooting, or if you're in a gunfight outside, for all you guys that actually get out and don't dance around. And before we get to the hot topic, which is what happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota, I want to play the TikTok video I sent you from Officer Reynolds. Did he block you?
Oh my God! No, he on his no, he did not block me, which is impressive.
So I'm going to play the video in a second, but they posted this. I don't know what you want to call it. If we're not going to be politically correct, this fucking homo fest where
it's faggotry. It's on duty
faggotry. There's a female. What's great is that these faggotry male cops have now invited a cop wife in. One of the females there, the second or third one in the fuckery, is one of these cop wife pages that is just diabolically bad for law enforcement. Reynolds thinks it's cute. Every comment is, "Oh, thanks for the views and the likes." I'm putting together a compilation of the DMs I received from it that say the things that we all want to say, but we're assholes for saying it. But it comes from the regular guys. The rank and file law enforcement officers hate these fucking people.
Mm-hmm.
They hate everything they do. To me, every ODMP officer killed in the line of duty is looking down going, these are the motherfuckers that are like representing the profession that I died for, and they are sick. And every squared away cop is sick of this. But let me play the video. As much as I hate, it's probably going to non-monetize our shit, but
just mute it. Just mute it. Just turn the volume.
Every time the beat.
See, I didn't realize how like out of shape and little he is.
Yeah, he's a tiny guy, and there's badge banter. And
that's her. That's the one that I did a video on where she cuffed herself. Not one of them is in fucking shape.
No, one of them's in shape. Let's play it back. The females are tiny. One's a cop wife, and here this is the first guy is Officer Reynolds. All he does is dance around duty. Wears a beanie.
He's a little dude.
He said like passive aggressively he hopes we meet one day, and he does not fucking hope we meet one day. I can tell you that.
I'll tell you,
offered him on the show, but he does not hope, because he's the size of my children. None of them train. None of them are in shape. But one more time, this is law enforcement 2026. We call this like a gangbang. I know you like that. But this is a bad gangbang in Dom's world.
It's not one you like.
This is not one you like. This is one more time.
Yeah, he's with Casper, Wyoming Police is where he's at. She is a tribal police officer. I know that's a cop
the one
wife.
I've done. Yes.
Now I don't know who anyone of those are.
The tribal one is really bad as well.
Yeah.
She gets. I know you did one on her. I did one on her when we first started. But what, I know how you feel, but just one more time for the people in the back of the room. Just, it's a new year. Give it to me.
Well, it is what it is. They put it on their content, which they said is a police influencers all getting together. So you're doing it for a brand. I wish I had this leverage when I was on, because I would absolutely take my uniform and leverage it towards my business. I wasn't even allowed to market to teach martial arts classes as a cop. I wasn't even, I mean, how much more business would I have gotten if I had said, hey, here's me in uniform, I'm a cop, and I'm going to teach you the X, Y, and Z? That would have been great. But now they're allowed to do this. I have a big problem because it splits the intention of what they're focusing on doing. And so you're more concerned about making money. I'm a capitalist. I love that. Do it. But you're not concerned about doing the job. So that's the problem I have.
I agree. And I was told in a comment that the Officer Reynolds has a GoFundMe in his bio for a hot tub. So not only is he using the badge for leverage for meetups, Cuckfest, whatever you want to call this, on top of it, he's using it for personal gain, which most of them have like an Amazon wish list in their bio or some type of monetary. And
what did you need? If you ever did that, if you needed to do secondary employment at your job, you wanted to go work a nightclub door, what were you required to do?
I had to be on duty, had to be squared away, ready to go. And
what's the biggest key component?
Ours are a little different here. So
approval from the chief.
Oh yeah. So you guys could do that. We can't do that. Everything here. That's why I was confused. I know New York, some other cities, we have to actually run it even more strict than you. We have to run it through our department. It's all through the department. Department has to approve the job, and then you build and you sign up through the department. So even if somebody wants you at the door of a nightclub, it goes to the agency. The agency puts it up online. You sign up for it. But yes, you have to be approved for anything in uniform to do.
Reynolds has a hot tub.
GoFundMe
stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the guy. And it's usually, I always say this, TikTok is full of trailer park women and fake accounts and all that stuff. I really think it's a lot of bots, because you look at Reynolds' Instagram, it's like a couple thousand. And then you look at him on TikTok, he's got a huge following. I think it's a lot of
2 million. Yeah.
It inflates their ego to this dude, this little tiny man says he wishes he met up with me. Dude, I'm fucking 50 in May and I need a new knee. I wish we would meet up too. We can do it for charity. We can do it for, I'll fucking fly you here. Whatever you want from me.
Yeah.
I will make it happen. We'll donate the money. I'll buy you a fucking hot tub. If you have the balls to come get in an MMA ring with me and fight me, I will buy you the fucking hot tub.
That MMA shit, dude. Show up. I want
$5,000. I'll pay for your fucking hot tub. I will
bring two people.
Pay for it.
Bring two people, one to observe the waiver you signed, the other one to help carry you out. I'm so tired of this crap.
And it's just, and it's tough guy. They're in the comments, they're this, they're that. And they're so self-inflated and their ego is so inflated that they think they're just untouchable.
I'm fine with that. I have the biggest ego on the planet. I'm 100%.
It's a different ego, though. But go ahead.
Social media absolutely ruffled my self-importance, when I was on. I get that. I have a problem with where this direction is going now. That back when we were on, my thought was, and the people I was competing with social media wise back then was Officer Daniels, Mike the Cop, Tommy Norman, Brian Woodard. And it wasn't about whose social media could be better, was who could be the best cop. Mm-hmm. Who could be that's what we used to compete over. It's like, damn. And it just, you wanted to be a professional police officer. Yeah. Now it's whose social media is more popular.
But even then, Dom, our old school guys, even posting like pro cop stuff kind of got flack from the older generation. Like even when social media rolled around, it was like, what are you doing posting your arrest? What are you doing posting that money, that gun? Yeah. It was kind of like frowned upon. It was like, be a silent professional, go do your job. And if you're lucky enough to make the news, not like we made the news, but if you're lucky enough to make the news in a good way, and like the news picked up your story, that was your TikTok. That was your moment of like, there he is on the news making an arrest or making a seizure. But to go even pump your own ego within the department was kind of frowned upon in my generation. It was like,
everyone, you do it now. Yeah. Look at what I get all the time. I get people in my comment section. Oh, Izzo thinks he's the end all be all of law enforcement. I never said I was. That's the common thing with cops. The common thing is cops is if you talk about something you're passionate about, you will get shit on by your coworkers or your brother in the blue across the nation. That's just how it goes. I don't what the older I got, the more I'm looking at it as, how do the people of Casper, Wyoming fare where Reynolds takes time to set up on he's on his break. I don't care.
Oh,
We know how
please.
long it takes to do one video. You do a video, you got to edit it, upload it, unless it's live, all this shit. So to set up and to choreograph, because all of his stuff is dancing, he choreographs it. He's a professional dancer, which means that he's a perfectionist. How many takes is he going to do it? When maybe if just by the concept of officer presence in the 3,000 person town you live in, maybe if you drove around the block, that Jerome wouldn't have gone and taken the bicycle off the front lawn that day. So that's the problem I have. It's a thankless job. It's a job where nobody gives a shit about you, and you sit behind a car door by yourself for 8, 10, 12 hours a fucking day, and it's depressing, especially in like Midwest or where it's wintertime, but that's what you chose.
Yeah.
You didn't choose to be a celebrity. That's the problem I have.
And you know, I lived it, and I know that, and I just, it's just terrible to me for the guy, because you know we're gonna show a video here of a guy on the other end of the spectrum that's in the middle of Minneapolis wrangling up illegals and dealing with the worst of the worst, where the local government doesn't support him, the people hate his guts. He's out here making a split-second decision on use of force, and this dude in Wyoming is dancing around like a faggot, and he'll never have to worry. You know,
until the day he uses it.
I said to him today, I said, I hope one day, in my comment, I hope one day you're laying on the ground underneath somebody or in a situation and the thought goes through your head, God, I wish I would have trained for this moment. That would be I don't want anything bad to happen. I don't want him to die. I don't want anything like that. But I hope he gets his fucking teeth knocked in one day and he's laying there dancing around in his fucking head. And he looks up and says, God, I wish I trained. I wish I learned defensive tactics. I wish I would have went to the gym instead of dancing around like a fucking homo on the internet. That is the wake-up call that he's going to need. And unfortunately, it might be too late.
The wake-up call is going to be the defense attorney, Officer Reynolds, on this day where the 2-year-old choked to death in her crib, where you could have beaten rescue there because you were closer. Can you tell us what you were doing that day? Well, can you tell us why department camera in-house camera has you dancing like this when the call came out? Yep. So that's the people don't realize.
But they don't, and they don't. They're so fucked up. They don't think about that, and it goes all the way down to like me with the vest. It's like not wearing your vest. It's like every other thing we talk about kind of goes in that chain of events. You didn't wear your vest. You weren't prepared. You weren't in shape. Now you go to the next level. You're out. Now you're dancing around in the fucking station and you're doing 75. You know, a guy with 2 million followers, his ego is so inflated that he thinks he's so important. It ain't 1 take. It ain't 10 takes. It ain't 15 takes. He's doing those videos probably hundreds of times until he goes, okay, this is the one I'm going to hit send. And that, add that up. That'd be great.
How much
like
time
a public
is
records
that?
request for his AVL.
Yes.
Like pull it, if they even have an AVL or a video location system in fucking Omaha, whatever, fucking Wisconsin or wherever he's from, Wyoming. But let's see. And then we go do that and people are like, oh, these guys are assholes. Well, no. Like the citizens can't get anything done. They're not getting any service. Everybody at his agency is obviously, and that's again reflects his agency. They must be fucking clowns too to let this guy get away with it. So it's just who steps up and goes, we're going to do something. And I know you've been, how many up to now?
Oh, God, 9. 9. I don't know. There may be one today because I put one out today. And the second I put it out, somebody sent me information that she had a prior arrest. And I'm like, and I emailed her city council. How did you hire this cop who was arrested for domestic battery? So we'll see. Maybe it'll be 10.
I have one locally, and I just get so busy that he lied on his job application. I have the application, and I have the polygraph, and I have the omission, and I have the IA from the other agency. He was viral in another video that was all over the internet, and I just feel I'm not as, I guess I'm not an asshole like you. I'm not all the way there. I'm not all the way asshole like you yet.
It's fun.
I get it. I bet it is. But I just look at it like it's wrong. And I guess to take the stand is like, why, for me is like, it's not right that this guy gets to do this job. And there's other people that got disqualified for something very stupid that somebody caught. And this guy sneaks through the system with lying. I'm talking about flat out lying on omission lying and lying, both. A little bit of like leaving some stuff out. Then when they found it a little bit out, he gave a little bit more. But there's an entire IA investigation with like 5 pages that I have that shows what he did. And it touches home because it has to do with sexual harassment and improperly touching a female and calling her excessively. And then he downplays it in his job application. And then when has to bring some of it out, he brings out just a little bit and adds a little bit to those CVSA polygraph tests to get by. But then there's a whole nother part of it that I have, and I just haven't got around to talking about it.
They don't care. Command staff does not care.
Well, in our agency right now, because we're falling apart, and I've posted that a bunch of times, it's civilians. So you have a job application. Our background investigator is a female civilian, never worked at road, never did an investigation. And then when she finds out the information that looks a little hinky, she sends it to the fucking HR female that's never been a cop, never done an investigation. Between the two of them, they're like, push it through. He's good. And then I look at it and I go, and not only was it a female, it was a female coworker and another cop's wife that he was harassing. All sounds right? That's par for our course, right?
That's what it is. Yes,
we're brothers. That's real blue brothers. That's the real brotherhood, right? You're banging the dude's wife or calling her 100 times, or that's how you really bond as a. All right, so let's get to the big one. I'm gonna put the image up first because this image is kind of like the first thing I saw was when you start out the video, and I'm gonna play the video. There's actually 2 cops in this video, and that just kind of shows you the deception of pictures, video, and a little bit on the backstory. I guess they were doing some raids in this neighborhood, and some protesters were out there. This lady was allegedly a protester, and I'm going to play the video, and it's going to be in slow motion right out of the rip, so it kind of gives you a slow motion view of. I think I have another angle, but let's watch this video. And I think the sound's wonky because it's slowed down. Nope. One more on. I gotta put the fucking video in here. All right. Remove from studio. Boom. Let's get the video. Video file. Here we go. All right. I believe it. This is 10 seconds, but it's slowed way down. So get ready. Here we go again. There's a second officer. So you want to go ahead, Dom. I want you to break this down.
If you go play it first, then we'll
okay. Here's and now you can see the second guy. So you got a guy in the window and a guy in front of the car. And then boom, boom, boom. I don't need to play any more shots. I took the audio out. I have one more angle. Play it again. So before we see the second angle, let's go ahead and go in on that.
Yeah, I'm going to say it flat out. I'm so tired of everybody who just they can't think without being told what to do. It wasn't a good shoot. It literally wasn't. I don't care. If you look at that circumstance, there's something called officer-induced jeopardy for a lot of people who don't get it. And he had a hard time not placing himself in front of that vehicle. But he pulled his pistol for one reason, as a visual threat to get her to stop. He didn't pull his pistol because, oh my God, I'm terrified for my safety. We've all done it. I talked about, I had a guy retail theft. I'll never forget a retail theft from Cub Foods, which was a major grocery store up here. Guy stole a shit ton of powdered baby formula because he was going to cut it for Coke, right? So it was over $300. I pursued him to a traffic light. He's stuck in traffic. I get out, and I got my gun pointed right at his face, and he's looking at me. And I'm screaming, get out of the car, get out of the car. And I know there's nothing I can fucking do. Nothing. I can't shoot because he didn't display any threat. I'm on the side. It was a property crime, retail theft. So that's it. We pull our gun to get you to fucking stop. And when they call your bluff, they call your bluff. So I didn't like that shoot at all. I just didn't.
Yeah, I look at it and I play the game, but and I'm on the same side of the Derek Chauvin, George Floyd one you are. That guy was an idiot, Derek Chauvin, and he no business being there that long. We're ridiculed for it, and we're not. Oh, rah rah rah! The cops did everything perfect. I don't think he should have been tried. I'll go back to Chauvin. He didn't do first degree murder. Wasn't premeditated. He was negligent. Terrible decision. A lot of problems with that. In this case, I looked at it first, and I kind of went back and forth on it. At first I saw it. I was like, oh, it's horrible. And then I saw the slowed down version of that, and then there's another angle. I'm like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was. But until you just said that, I now agree with what you said. I didn't even think about that version, which is we all do it. I pull my gun out 1,000 times when I know there's no way I can use it.
It's the best
just like pulling out a
equalizer there
stick.
is.
It's just like pulling out a stick or picking up a log, whatever the weapon may be. You pick it up and you go, I'll do this. And you're like, well, I really can't do this. Like all the guy did was, like, say you're a civilian, you pull out a fucking bat and the guy's yelling at you. Well, you can't hit a guy in the head with a bat for yelling at you. So I didn't look at it until you just said that. And I guess if you really wanted to get out of the way of that car, the easiest way to get away of that car is keep both hands free, get away from the car, not pull your gun out and stand there. No, I don't think he put himself in front of the car though. It looks like she kind of turned.
She was
standing there.
She was fleeing.
But you're right as far as
But that's what people want.
Self-induced
Officer-induced jeopardy.
It's not officer-induced jeopardy, but maybe the gun is a induced weapon in that position. That's not.
But once he has it out, he creates scenario. Oh, now I can. That was complete hindsight. Ooh, because it could have been sympathetic trigger reflex as well too. He could have just had boom, and that was what happened with Takaya Young was sympathetic trigger reflex. He shot and killed her. So I have a problem with it because ultimately speaking, you break it down. What was the crime?
It was resisting, fleeing. It looked like resisting. Like
who were they? Were they?
And they don't have it. I don't think they have that.
Were they clearly marked in like?
I get it.
I'm not defending her. I don't give a shit. You want to go to a protest? That's fine. But she's there. She's some liberal lesbian, I guess she claims as. So we know that she doesn't have the proper ability to process stress, right? She probably spills a drop of coffee and has a shit fit. So you're going to put her in a car. She has an adrenaline dump. They have no accountability for everything. She has somebody trying to pull in her car. She's not looking at what's in front of her. She's looking at the guy doing this, trying to get away, turning her vehicle. So you can't say I was in great fear for my safety. I have to use deadly force to stop somebody from what? What crime did she commit that required them using deadly force?
Yeah, well, I really want to like this one. And I know the feds are, like you asked, I think you said something to me, like, is it use of force different? I know from being sworn in as a marshal, it's definitely different. And they clean it up quick. They bring their own people in. They in and out. There's a lot of rules that the feds do that like you don't have to say a word. This guy gets taken away. He's got like 5 days to cool off. There's a different level of investigation that goes into the feds.
All I know is Jerry Worms agrees with me. That's all I give a shit.
Yeah, so you're definitely, definitely. So let's play. I'm gonna play it again.
Awesome.
This is the one with the wonky audio. This is gonna be 2 versions. It's gonna be the one we watched again, slowed down. Then it's gonna be a second cell phone camera. I think. Hold on. Is that playing?
Yeah, that's playing. You can kill the audio on that. It sounds like a cow.
It does.
It
does sound like a cow. The problem was there was two videos.
Here's the question. He's continuing to fire as he's clearing the car's driving, right? This is something that I've been critical of. So let's just say that's a 6,000-pound impact weapon people like to talk about, right? I get the whole, and this is where I'll defend the cop. Force Science Institute has done studies on the concept that from the time your eyes see a threat and it processes, sends signals to your brain to go down your spine, to take your hand, to move your pistol, to line it up, to fire a shot, to where now the threat is no longer a threat, there's going to be a lag, right? So that's why people go, why do cops shoot people in the back? They don't. Means you're facing me, you've posed a threat to me. By the time my brain starts to pull the trigger and you've already turned, and that's where that goes. So I'll defend the cop on that. But once you shoot at a 6,000-pound impact weapon, how does it stop?
It does.
How does it stop?
It goes down the road and hits another car.
And hits somebody else, kills somebody else.
And I think that's another thing, if you really want to break it down like that, because now you're creating another point, is there is a time, you said it, maybe at the very beginning, should his gun be introduced? I don't know. Maybe not. But let's say, okay, he's already positioned in front of the vehicle. It starts moving forward. He decides to draw it. You're right. He makes a decision. That second round is probably by instinct. And it's going to be like, oh, he shot her while she was going by. He already in his mind knew he was firing more than one round because we never fire one round. We're trained to fire multiple rounds. The first one's on target. The second one, he's not like executing her as he's driving by. I'll never say he did this on purpose. This wasn't a murder. Like, he's not trying to kill her, but you're right. His brain had already decided I'm sending rounds, and he's already thinking about the next squeeze and the next squeeze before she's going by him. Two things that one thing that's absolutely changed this case is, it's a white female. If this was a black male or black female, I don't know if we'd be able to get on the internet right now and talk
It's
about it.
burning. They're burning.
Yeah. So that's one thing he's got going for him. And again, even the fact that you're not as upset about it as I thought you might be, gives me like, this guy's got a little bit of a leg to stand on somewhere, because
No, it's the biggest problem that I have out of all this is the hypocrisy from people, because I'm tired of it. The hypocrisy of people, how quickly. So wait a second, you're telling me that you want your cops to shoot someone for leaving a scene, driving away with she didn't burn a daycare down. She didn't go pipe bomb a nursing home. She didn't fucking stab anybody. She stirred some shit, and it's only because of her political ideology that you want her shot and killed. Guaranteed, if this woman came out and they said she was a conservative, a Christian Catholic conservative, the conservatives would be up in arms. It blows me away how stupid people are. They purely want this for political purpose. That's it.
It goes both ways, because I said this earlier. It's like the blacks are out of this one. They don't care about this one. The blacks are out. You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey, because normally what would happen,
they're happy.
If she wasn't shot, they would say, oh, if she was black, she'd be dead. So now that part of the country they don't have a dog in it. They're like, hey, the feds are crazy. Like, that's wild. They're out of this one. And if this was a black female or black male, yes, that place would be nuts. Because I saw Tim Walz say he was going to activate the National Guard. I'm like, for what? Nobody's going to riot. Nobody's going to burn. Nothing's going to burn down. There's not going to be one problem. You're going to have some fucking liberal crybaby Walz Harris dudes with manginas walking around yelling and screaming. And even the cameraman of some of these were like, hey, stop. Just, you could tell. And
the biggest problem I have with all this,
no,
the biggest problem I have with all this is that police are doing the dirty work for these fucking conservatives who didn't give a shit until Trump made it an issue. You've known these people have been in your city for years. It's like out here in Chicago. It says, I want to see the comment said, she ignored a command to drive towards a cop with his weapon out. Congrats. All right, so here's a question. And so legitimately, we talk about this with police, right? And we give police the leverage and the leeway to say it's a fast, rapid, tense, ever-evolving circumstance that police have split-second decisions to make, like faster than the speed of thought. But when it comes down to that, the opposition never gets that. So you're going to tell me that a suburban liberal housewife or lesbian, whatever she is, who has no experience in tactics or any type of stimulus training, she is supposed to, at the fucking fraction a cop says stop, she is supposed to turn her brain off and just physically stop immediately? These people, if she's in her 30s or younger, she grew up in a time where you question authority, everything, your teacher, your parents, your bosses, and you always, why? That's it. So you're going to tell me that you support that she stop immediately, like right to boom, slam the car in gear, hands up and surrender without being allowed
we
to
see
process?
we see thousands of videos a week of these people not getting out of the car, not giving their ID. I know my rights. I don't have to listen.
It's not fair. It is not fair to ask them. Yes, it's not fair to ask them to instantly stop like that, but the cop gets the grace and leeway to have that human side to make the decisions. I don't agree with that.
All right, let's watch the rest of it, because there's another version or more video from another angle.
And again, I want to go back and talk about the conservatives as well too, who they don't give a shit. These people have been living in their cities and towns for decades, and they've never gone to their city councils. They've never gone to their mayors. They've never said, hey, we have an infestation of illegals. But once Trump says, oh my God, blah, 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 it's that, then now it's an issue. You go with your pitchforks and torches.
Yeah, but I think I agree and I disagree some, because, a guy like Sean Reyes, who we're both a fan of, I think what he does is great for law enforcement because he's educating, and I think it's great for the Constitution, what he's doing and showing people the corruption. More so now he's going to city council and all that. But there was a time, I think, when just people didn't know, or not everybody's an asshole like you and me and doesn't have the ability to get up and just fucking say what's on their mind. And it's kind of like that silent, quiet law-abiding, the normal people, honestly, not like us, the normal people that just obey the law. They go to work. They expect to be free. They expect to be safe. They don't expect any drama or anything. They probably see it, and just like we talk about, they just kind of like, man, that's really bad, but I just want to keep living my life. I don't want to get involved.
Yes.
I think we've gotten to a point, but yeah, but at one point in the country, it was okay. Now it's not okay. We have to get involved. But I think Trump, if anything, rallied those people a little bit to get out and talk. But then there are the ones that are just doing it because they want to be loud, like Trump, and go, oh, I got a hero now. Let me go act crazy. So somewhere in the middle of that, though, are your everyday law-abiding citizens who listen to the police, listen to command, follow the Constitution, go to work, go home, do everything right. There's the majority of the people. Obviously, we highlight the bad side, but those majority are quiet.
They're the ones who are going to suffer. You just pointed out. They're the ones who you're going to get pulled over. And now that you've fed the ego of these cops who flat out say, yeah, fuck around, find out. Now this cop who is 21, 22, gets hired, blah, 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 all this shit, and sees online that they're supported and they'll be actually fueled by conservatives who want to shoot somebody. When you go, hey, officer, yeah, I'm just going to pull over here. And the cop's like, no, I want you to stop right here. No. And they go to question. That law-abiding citizen who's been a police supporter forever is going to be at the tail end of some cop wrath because we've said this is okay. It's insane.
Yeah. And this guy's pointing out that there were 2 felonies committed, but, and I'm all about,
how do we know?
Even if it's, let's just say it's true. Okay. I'm a street goon. I love the fucking goonery stuff that we don't see eye to eye. Not eye to eye. We just have different paths in our career.
No, I like my uniform, my shiny boots.
I'm about dirty and sneaking around. But at the same time, are either of those things he just listed worth killing somebody over?
That's as the juice worth the squeeze.
Beating a federal agent is just resisting arrest. It's just a felony because it's a federal agent, maybe. And then leaving the scene of a felony, it's like,
what? There wasn't a felony until. And it's like, we have to trust that what the cop says is the gospel truth. Her leaving, and I don't know what she was leaving for. I don't know if they were trying to pull her out of the car because they pissed her off or something. But if it wasn't a felony until they ordered her to stop,
like a real felony, like a aggravated battery or like something.
What's this snowball fucking down an avalanche effect of? Well, now that I say stop, now it's a crime. Now it's a felony. Now I can shoot you. It just blows me away the amount of power cops have. And lastly, were they identifiable as cops?
Yeah, they look like soldiers. I'm sure they got something on them, but yeah, I got it. And I will say, after going through the internal affairs investigation I went through and being demoted, I would 1,000 times not make the traffic stop again instead of going, well, I did everything. They shouldn't have done this to me. If I could go back in time, I'd be like, fuck that guy. Let him, obviously, let him go. So it's like, do you want to be this agent on this one? That this is your use of force. This is your moment in the sun as you killed some lesbian chick. Even if it's right. Let's for the sake of argument, he's a 100% justified. Is this the one you want your grandkids and great grandkids to go, yeah, my granddaddy killed somebody, and they're like, wow, that's the one.
30,
and I'm not saying
20 years
I'm not
ago.
against him.
Yeah, 20 years ago, if there was no footage, you go, yeah, somebody tried to run me over, I shot them.
Yes.
Now it's like, hey, grandpa, we saw the video.
You
fucking pussy.
Yeah, it's like, and I am not. I don't want anybody to confuse this. I am not saying I'm against what happened. I'm still digesting it all. I haven't made a decision. I'm not shitting on the cop. I don't want to be him right now. He's going through it. He's a human being. I think he went out that day to kill somebody? Absolutely not. That's all I know. Maybe he did. But I'm saying, as far as I'm looking at from the surface, looking over it right now from afar without all the details, I would be reasonable to say that guy did not wake up and go, I'm going to kill me a lesbian today and I'm going to go kill some lady. He didn't want to. Now he did, and he's got to deal with it. So let's go back to this video and watch the rest of it from another angle. If you look in the front of that gray SUV, that is the guy that's going to end up firing. He's standing in front of her car. It looks a little worse from here because now, that looks a little worse.
Yeah.
He's there. He doesn't.
But again, let me ask you a question. What is shooting the vehicle? Is that instantly going to stop the car?
No.
So again,
I get it. If that car's going 90, you're not jumping in front of it to take shots. No, you're not going to get in front of it to take shots.
One Revan X says, no, you stop the vehicle, put it in park. I don't buy. She's a lefty lesbian.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand. Here's my question. So let's take you. in that exact same scenario. All we have to do is put you in a car with the windows up, whatever. We don't know if she had the radio on. We don't know what the circumstance was, and have just Mike and I. That's it. Just Mike and I, both on opposite sides of you, screaming different orders. And let's see which one you obey first. You don't know what the circumstance and the environment was like.
No, and
it's stimulus. It's
and we teach
overload.
that. Obviously, we've come along. I'm sure when you started doing felony takedowns and felony stops, everybody screamed. There was no training on it. Everybody's yelling 700 different fucking things, and you got the high pitched female that shows up. You got the shift bully. He's screaming, "Get on fucking ground! Stand up! Get down!" I actually I had an incident like that once. It was a joke. We were in MLK in the middle of the hood, and we were giving this white dude that was smoking crack to get up, get down, get down. I ended up just jacking him, taking him to jail. And I'm thinking, I don't know if he knew what the fuck he was doing. His head was spinning. One guy's telling him to get up. One guy's telling him to get down. So now we've evolved to like a felony stop, which is one person commands. That's all they do. Their job is to give commands, clear instruction. So you're right. This chick's getting screamed at, yelled at, don't go, don't go. And I want everybody to be clear that my stance is, I'm not saying this guy did anything wrong right now. I'm just saying that, would you or anybody else want to be this guy that we're talking about right now? Your life is on the line now. You're going to go to a grand jury. Is this the one that you want? And I would think most people are going to say no.
It's not municipal. It would be so much worse if it was like a municipal cop, because now you're gonna have the public going, "What? Okay, so she stole, she did this, she what are you doing?" This is what's inflaming. This is it's an immigration issue, and we're taking this whole stance on these people are here illegally, and these people. And again, this is a political. The only reason this woman died was politics. That's it. No other reason. She was stupid enough. She's stupid enough to get involved, and she's a martyr for her cause now. But this is what it fucking is.
Here's the joke. Just like the Venezuela and everything, the liberal white women are more upset than the fucking immigrants, dude. Like I guess the one in Chicago where they refused to go help was a Hispanic female they shot. We never saw a video of that one, but I think it was very similar, where there was alleged that she tried to run over an agent and there was a shooting in Chicago. We did a breakdown on that on Anti-Hero.
Yeah, there was
the watch
video.
commander said, the watch commander said, we're not going to go help them. We're going to leave them on their own. Very similar. But this is another, and this is where I am pro-government on this one. This is another stupid liberal white fucking woman yelling and screaming, doing whatever she's out in the street over immigration that has nothing to do with her. In my opinion, there's a law that says you can't come in this country illegally. Very simple. If you're going to break it all the way down and you're impeding or attempting to impede the federal government, and so is the local government, so it's a huge problem. But her entire purpose out there that day is to impede a federal investigation. No, she does not deserve to die. Doesn't deserve to die. Some people say she does. I'd say deport her with everybody else, but I don't think you're allowed to do that either. But no, she doesn't deserve to die. But just like you argued that where were the Trump people, these fucking people are sitting around doing nothing until the feds come around. Now they're fucking advocates for fucking jumping, running over agents. It's psychopath. Yeah, it's both sides. It's both sides.
It was not as politicized under the last two presidents. So,
yeah. Well, and I think it's from going forward for the rest of our lives. This is going to be we're going to have plenty of content to be on here the rest of our lives until we croak, because this is going to be the country now forever. Forever, the country is going to be divided, where you're going to have this scene come out, and it's going to be fuck her, she's a stupid liberal, or it's going to be fuck the government, they're tyrannical fucking agents of the government. They're doing so. We're going to be here forever just debating, and people are going to hate us and like us and all that stuff. But it's a huge problem. It's a huge problem. And then it's to top it off, it's Minnesota, and it's right in the middle, like
Somaliland.
There's going to be people that tell you this happened to get the eyes off the fucking Somalian shit. I haven't even spun that yet.
That's a good point.
I just did. This is your
Somali daycare.
Think about
Somali daycare shit.
Yeah.
She was picking up her kid from daycare.
Tim Walz didn't say shit about the Somalian daycare. He's already on TV saying, we don't support this. We don't support the feds. This is Tim Walz's opportunity to fucking have everybody forget about the daycares. So there's the other conspiracy theory there. Like, which one? Dom's aging backwards? Who's aging backwards?
What?
One of us. Somebody's complimenting one
backwards.
of us. Hopefully it's me.
Yeah.
Backyards.
I'm getting
Dom's
older.
aging in backyards. How old are you, Dom?
50. I'll be 51 in March.
Oh, we're right there. I'm 50 in May. We're neck and
Yeah,
neck.
fucking. I know, dude. So again,
I am
try not
so
to have a heart
old.
attack.
I am so old today. I was doing shoulders and I went to go kick the weight up and something in my back just fucking, I couldn't move. I had to watch Joanna finish her workout by herself. And I'm standing there like, I come home, my dad fucking drilled with a gun. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. I used to be able to fall off back of trucks drunk and get up and be fine. Now I can't even walk around the house.
Yeah, just got to increase the dosage. That's it.
I do. And that's the problem. I'm going crazy.
DECA doesn't work for me anymore.
What, we never talked. What do you think about Venezuela? Let's get into that before we
I
end the
have
show.
nothing. No political. I do not give a shit. I don't know how. I got to the point where I split my time now between Chicago and Sacramento, and
you have a cooking show.
Yeah, both liberal sides. Yeah, yes, I would. If somebody told me, hey, listen, we're gonna sign you to $5 million a year to go ahead and do your cooking shit as long as you drop law enforcement,
this, right?
I would. I'd be like, fuck y'all. I'm done. I don't give a shit.
I would do
baking Betty Crocker bitch.
I would do anything for $5 million, but go back to law enforcement. You called me they're texting me the other day.
Oh, that's right. I have a meeting.
Said there is not. You're still talking about it?
Well, I will go meet. I will go meet because if there's an opportunity
that's your ego.
for
You
me,
just want to go talk.
Well, if there's an opportunity to be brass, and I say, listen, I'm not coming in on the street. I will come into. Then maybe I'll do it. But yeah, there's a lot of other things as well too. But no, I'm tired of national issues, and we don't focus on what the fuck is going on in our own backyard. So that's where I'm at, and it's frustrating. I couldn't even tell you what happened with Venezuela. I didn't even pay attention.
Yeah, Brady came in late. If you're happy about Izzo being on, get ready because it's me and him. This is it. This is the show.
All right. I don't know who Brady is, but okay.
He's one of our big supporters on Counterculture and.
Right. Yeah, we love Brady. Dom only started complaining about immigration when Joe used taxpayer money to fund it. Oh, the end. I don't even. No, I didn't see. I didn't give a shit about the immigration. I worked at a 60% Hispanic community, and I've said for years, you want to talk about rapists and drunks and drug dealers and drug users and this and that, but they're also the hardest working community on the planet. Then let's talk about the Hispanic population. So I've been talking about this for fucking decades. I've always complained about it, and people don't care. But if I was given a choice to live next to one minority, and they say, hey, you have to live next to them, I would live next to a Mexican family of fucking 4 or 5 kids in a heartbeat. Yeah. In a fucking heartbeat.
Good music, good food.
Good music, good food, and the best looking manicured lawn on the planet. And anything ever breaks, I'm calling them because all they need is a screwdriver and duct tape and they can fix it.
Yes. And that's where when, and I'll be honest, I was very, I don't care. I don't work there anymore. If I pulled over a Hispanic male for a traffic stop and he was in a work truck with tools and he was illegal as shit and had no driver's license, guess what happened? Hey man, be careful. The next guy's going to take you to jail.
We did.
I swear to God, I used to sit on the license plate reader at the county line and I would get the hits as they come in the county. And I'd pull these dudes over with the bed full of tools and the dude's fucking dirty and muddy and working all day. Not one license in the car. And I looked at that dude and I said, hey man, take the back roads, dude.
No valid, probably coked up to do the 2-3 jobs.
No. Those ones I would have to. No. I'm talking about not the DUI guy, not the Bud Light. It's okay. Not that guy. I'm talking about the guy you could tell. That was.
It's okay.
Can I say that? That's one of the. Let me tell you my it's okay story. My buddy went to a disturbance and he blew it off, and I get a 911 hang up. And I'm like, fuck, it's the same address. And I'm like, being cool. I'm like, I get him on the computer. I'm like, hey, dude, I'll take it. You just went there. He's like, yeah, it was just a minor disturbance. Time I get there, there's a dude with his fucking thumb cut off by a machete. And it happened before when the first call happened and my buddy blew it off. So I get there and the dude's thumb is hanging off. And the first words out of his mouth were, it's okay, sir. No problem, sir. And I'm like,
doesn't want to go to jail.
He's like, no. He's like, it's okay. I'll go to the hospital and get it fixed. And I'm like, bro, your fucking thumb. And like the machete's laying over there. And I'll be honest. I was like, okay, you guys want to take care of yourself? Like
100%.
I'm fucking out of here. So that was my
100%.
It's okay. That's my it's okay story.
I forgot all about that. So
yeah, but
you're right. No problem.
It's always okay. Yeah, no problem. You like get there. There's disturbance. The dude's fucking eyes swollen shut. He's got shirt ripped off, and he's like, sir, no problem. It's okay. And you're like, okay. And I tried to stay out of that because there are cultural things that, just like in the black community, when there's shootings and stuff, they don't want to cooperate. I don't know if you watched the Tupac or the P. Diddy documentary. There's a lot, it dives deep into a lot of that stuff where even during those major shootings with Tupac and those guys were like, we're not talking to cops, we're going to handle ourselves. And that's a common thing in the Black community.
Mhm.
Hispanic community is very similar. They're just like, hey, we don't want no problems. We don't want nothing to do with y'all.
I
We'll
have
handle
said
ourselves.
it a million times when Trump made the comment and he accused people said, well, he's calling Hispanics rapists. I've said this a million times. And I've actually been backed up by Hispanic people who are state troopers. And they said, yeah, that's true. If you go to the Hispanic community and the culture, a lot of them in my town, they were ingenious. They would take a single family home that maybe had 2 bedrooms upstairs and a full basement, and you would get 2 to 3 families living in there. And typically what would happen is you get the males who work 50, 60, 70 hours a week, and they do a lot of blow, but on the weekends they get drunk to come back down. It happened all the time. And somebody's 14-year-old daughter would be inappropriately touched because at one time in their culture, the age of consent in Mexico, I believe, was 13. But you never had anybody report it, because if you report it, then all of a sudden you're going to get dad arrested. Dad is the breadwinner.
Can't work.
And mom is here illegally. The kids are 3, 4, 5. The amount of unreported cultural rape that happens in that community is huge.
Yeah.
Just part of their community.
All right, 1 second. I'm gonna bring Jimmy in for about 2 minutes. Get him, and then we'll wrap up the show. Jimmy.
What is up, guys? Dom,
Jimmy,
I'm so glad to be on with Dom. I've never been like, I've been on the podcast, and I've been on the night shift, but like I actually get to sit here and look at you. I don't look like a Minecraft character. This is fantastic.
Jimmy's a big fan.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks.
So for those who don't know, Jimmy is our co-host on Antihero broadcast and the night shift, and Jimmy has his own Shadowcast show that is going to go on live right after we go off at 8 p.m. Kind of give us what your show is about, Jimmy, and why they'd want to tune in.
So we're going from Dom, who is agnostic, I'll call it, about Venezuela.
Words.
Yeah. To this is going to be a very deep dive into like what is the second and third order effects of the raid that happened, the stuff that's happening currently. There's a lot of good stuff going on. We hit 2 tankers today, and of course, from y'all's perspective, there's a lot of protests around the country because of it, which are bleeding over into this ICE thing. It's almost like the perfect storm. Yeah. So I mean, it's going to be very, very cool just to be able to like hang out and answer some questions and talk about it. I do have something for Dom, and I put this in the comments. I am of the opinion that anybody spectating at a gunfight is a participant, at least in some level. Like nobody just shows up. You know what I mean? So like she showed up to something that ICE was doing, and she was clearly interfering. Like, I'm really sorry.
Does that mean she deserves to be shot and killed?
I mean, if somebody's going to run me over, like,
at what point do American citizens get to dictate where their freedom stops? Right. So if let's just say, for argument's sake, that I agree that these people are here, they're peacefully, I live in a neighborhood of all Hispanics, this and that, and I don't agree with the policies, and there's better ways of doing it, and ICE comes in to rip them out. Unless I am actively ripping an ICE guy off of them, or I'm beating the shit out of them, if I'm standing there, fuck you, pigs, all this shit, and then I want to leave, but you say no, at what point do I go, motherfucker, that's domestic terrorism? I am free to leave. Okay. At what point?
Okay.
That's what I said. I don't know what
probably
she
need
did.
More facts. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know
People
what
are saying
she did.
felonies, but I can see what Jimmy's saying, and I obviously agree with what Dom is saying. We need more context, but
we do.
I'm huge on the
Constitution. What I also know too is I know that cops have the ability to create crime carte blanche, meaning if they're there to arrest illegals, and then here comes this white liberal bitch, and all of a sudden she's pissing them off, and we want to punish her by she's going to shoot disorderly conduct. Let's go arrest her. They can create a narrative to put her in cuffs, and the second they go, you're under arrest. Now she says, no, I'm not. Well, now it's resisting, and now that escalates and escalates.
We call that
so
POP.
It's a gunfight. Yeah. It's a gunfight when our government honors the Second Amendment. I will side with you. If every single fucking American is allowed to carry without any permit, without any FOID card, like here in Illinois, wherever it is,
reciprocity.
It is 100% You want to get in a gunfight with me? Then I better be able to carry without and exercise my rights the same way you're exercising yours.
And again, like this is what makes it all great. And you're absolutely right. We do need more context. There's I mean, all we have is 15, 20 seconds of a video and from a couple of different angles.
It'll come out. We'll get both sides of it.
Yeah, we will.
All right, Jimmy, I'll give you time to get ready for a show. Make sure you guys stay
Yep.
on Counterculture right after this is over. Jimmy's Shadowcast Live. He'll be answering questions and talking about the Venezuelan raid. Jimmy, I appreciate you coming on, and
Absolutely,
we'll tune into you right after this is over.
Great to be here.
All right. One more thing I want your opinion on, Dom. Here we go. This is this mayor of Seattle.
Oh God, I love this.
What do you think about that?
I love
that
it.
statement.
I
like that?
fucking love it. Let everybody die in the street. OD. Fuck you. Well, I started to notice much later on that the war on drugs was the biggest fucking waste of time on the planet. I never saw. Well, no, that's a lie. I just fucking lied. I arrested one guy who broke into 9 homes because he was a heroin addict and he was trying to do. So outside of him, I've never seen anybody that wasn't a drunk. Always the alcoholics who commit the worst crimes. But heroin, coke, weed, I've never seen anybody escalate that broken window theory. So if that's the case, and it's my personal view, let them fucking die in the street.
So from that side of it, I agree.
Beautiful.
Obviously, I've seen that property crimes usually are involved in the drug circle where, you guys are cutting catalytic converters off of, that's usually meth, crack. Your heroin addicts aren't doing that. Mainly they're too fucked up to be out
lazy.
doing that stuff. But you have you have Seattle, that's a complete disaster. I've been there. I watched protests and all that when I went on one of my Alaskan cruises. And I just, the culture of cops that have now been created by this ongoing liberal push in Seattle my problem is it goes back to people that don't chase cars and people that don't get involved in like high speed stuff at a job. When they have a critical incident now, these cops are so dumbed down and have no ability to like do anything. What happens when there is that robbery or there is that call? They're just so used to turning the blind eye and not doing anything that I think it just creates just a massive problem of a city that's completely shit. But you know what?
Complacency.
They're fucking liberal fucks that all live there, and that's what they voted for. I that's kind of my take too. Like, you guys want
get to the people. I want, you people should have their houses broken into more. They should actually have, but you should be able to walk over piles of shit and people who are sleeping and disheveled shit. 100%. Until the people have had enough of it, give them what they want.
Yeah,
give them what they fucking want.
When I went to Seattle, the homeless congregate at every convenience store door. They open it and then they almost strong arm you into giving them money. Like they're like,
dude, I'll do this. Ready? You're at your age. If you went back and somebody said, "Hey, we're going to give you 120 grand a year to come and just patrol a Seattle," I would say, "Fuck yes," because you get to drive around and do nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
That's one side, but that would be like you and I going there because we've done something. The guys that come up through that though, that been there since day one, that have done nothing. I mean, just imagine another 10 years when that whole generation of old Seattle cops that used to be able to act, do police work are gone. And now you have,
they're leaving now.
I guess what you're right though. I think it's a great social experiment for us to watch and watch it just unfold and watch it go to shit. And we can just say, I told you so. And Minneapolis obviously is headed that same way with the Somali. I mean, we kind of glazed over that because we didn't get a chance to talk, but how awesome is that, man? That the federal government gave away $8 billion.
I don't know, and everybody keeps accusing me. It's like your mindset for policing is antiquated. And I'm like, no, it's never going to change, right? You've got crimes and you've got cause and effect and all that shit. It's going to boil down to spineless police command, who they're the ones that all the onus needs to go on the shoulders. I think every cop in America who are in these cities, they honestly should go, I'm not fucking doing anything. Because if I do something, I'll be crucified. You want to pay me? Fuck it. Fine. Unless somebody is shot, bleeding right in front of me, I'm going to turn corners and collect the check. And I think, again, you should give them exactly what they fucking want.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, they got it.
Go dance on be an Officer Ryan Reynolds and just dance for a living.
There's a couple of them in there. You got the other chick that makes videos of her making her food every day, and her husband. They're like tribal police of fucking nobody, nowhere. Yeah. Yeah, and then you got like Steve says, and that's where I can fuck with Steve on this. Like Uvalde, you got a bunch of nobodies that were those type of cops that stood around and watched people get annihilated.
I
and didn't do
never
anything.
really commented on Uvalde. Like as people always wanted my views of it. The only thing I didn't like was the lie that they didn't gain entry for 30 minutes. No, they went in 2 or 3 minutes and then they stopped.
If
That
you
was my
deep
only
dive
thing.
it, I don't know how much you do, but one of the dudes is texting his wife who's getting murdered. She gets killed. One of the cops is texting his wife on camera at the end of the hallway. Like, she's like, yeah, it's not good down here. It's like, she ends up, and I'm sorry to laugh, but she ends up dead. And nobody went. And can you imagine what that guy's life has been like since that day?
I've actually played devil's advocate because what do? Right? You're on a stick and you've got 8 or 10, 12 of you, and your command is holding you up. And then the rest, and now there's the rest of you. Well, how do you communicate that? Well, this is bullshit. It's not bullshit. And you're waiting for your fucking orders. How do you, who's going to be the one that says, fuck this, I'm going? I don't care. I do not care what cop on the fucking planet, armchair quarterback, that said, well, I would have done this. I would have done that. 100% guarantee it. No, you wouldn't have.
No.
If you had your place,
it would have taken about 1% of cops would have overrode that
Mhm.
decision. And there's not as many, but it's easy, right? It's easy to go back now and say, I would have, but there is one
You're
in
not
every
going to.
10, 15,000 cops that would have actually said, fuck this, I'm going anyway. Most of those
Mhm.
guys would have been like, man, we should be going, but they would just sit
Yes.
there and not do it. Just like when
Yep.
they message us and say, this guy's a piece of shit, you need to roast this guy. And it was like, you fucking roast him. You need to say something. Like, this is your fucking town, your agency, and you're letting this guy dance around like that faggot Reynolds just dance around. Like, you do it. But it is what it is. So anyway,
Yeah.
I'm going to end this stream. You guys, Jimmy will be back live on Counterculture shortly on the Shadowcast. We'll be back next Wednesday, tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Anti-Hero broadcast tomorrow night, 8 p.m. and the night shift. And Dom is Friday night now.
Friday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern.
All right. So we'll see you guys next week. And we appreciate you guys tuning in. Dom, take care.
Later. See you.